owns the juice bar out in L.A.
No longer.
But someone mentioned him eating at Olive Garden and crushing an Olive Garden. And,
someone did say
7 bowls of never-ending pasta.
I believe that was probably quite a while ago. Rich is a pretty healthy guy. All right, we're on to our title fight. 140. And now this is a 5-rounder.
5-round amateur title fight. Something I like about amateur MMA in Kentucky is title fights are 5 rounds. I think that if you're good enough, the promoter says you're good enough to fight for a title, you should be able to fight 5 rounds.
Yeah, and especially 5-3s. That's like a regulation pro fight, but you still get the minute and a half. You still get quite a bit of time. And Jamal has a big crowd, a big fan. We'll see if that plays into the fight. Looks like he's got quite a following that came out for him.
Exactly 4 seasons. Always has a great crowd. Jamal Mohammed coming in 8-0, number 1 ranked 145-pound fighter in the Ohio Valley in the Bluegrass MMA rankings.
Rich getting mauled by the fans now. Doing his best job of being Jim Carrey.
And that's got to be tough. I mean, I've never been put in that situation, but always a guy, even a couple of years removed from his last fight. I don't know if it's got to be tough or not, but I'm sure he's always loves the fan interaction.
Yeah, he does. He just does a great job balancing it. Rich has really done a phenomenal job of keeping the mix in, and I might make you laugh here in a second. I'm Rich Reagan.
Doing the Snapchat face.
I might really make you laugh with this one. That one might get you, just a little bit.
And Rob Radford Kickboxing from Covington, Kentucky, Shawn.
And Jamal looks like he's in shape. He looks like he's ready to go. Another guy who looks to has a big crowd here, people cheering him on.
And Shawn Nickell said the last fight was in Jamal's backyard down in Lexington. This one's in my backyard up here in northern Kentucky. So I think he may feel that if the crowd starts going crazy, it might be a little bit in his favor this time.
It might,
as opposed to last time. The last time, the first 2 rounds were absolutely crazy, and Mohammed was able to lock in armbar in the 3rd round.
It should be very interesting to see the game plan, especially for Shawn. This being, I think that was at the time his only 2nd loss was Mr. Mohammed. And now he's compiled up a couple wins. I think he had 1 loss in between now and then. And look at his corner. Yeah. Very good
Another
corner.
kind of X factor is that Nickell is actually coming off of a loss. One of the more experienced fighters in the area. His last fight, though, I know he went up a weight class, ended up getting submitted, getting caught in a submission in the 1st round of guillotine choke at Hardrock 79 down in Bowling Green. So wanting to get back in and get back on the winning track here, and also avenge that loss to Jamal Mohammed.
And yes, both ring girls at the same time.
Mohammed looks ready to go. He's moving. He's loud on his feet. He's not stopped moving. Looks very fluent. You can even tell from a guy the way he bounces how skilled he is. As goofy as that sounds, you can see there's not too much nervous energy running through him. And he also has a black belt in his corner from 4 seasons MMA. Not sure his name, but I know he's a black belt. 2 very good corners.
And Mohammed in the red trunks, the southpaw, coming out against Nickell in the black trunks, also the southpaw.
Fast start from Mohammed. Lots of footwork.
He is bouncing all over the place.
Man. Lots of movement.
And as you mentioned, that's one of the things.
Wow, big shot. Great recovery right away.
As you mentioned, even stepping off, he was able to land that left hand that just briefly dropped Jamal Mohammed, but Mohammed now looking to try to finish this double leg here.
Nickell doing a good job utilizing his hips. He needs to spread his legs out, though. I don't like how close his feet are together. He needs to get his feet wider. He's doing a good job controlling the wrist, but his legs need to be a little bit wider here. And see, that's the danger. Your legs are close. But again, good hips. Good hips.
Good job with that whizzer on the left side.
Beautiful. Wow, what a reversal. Is he mounted or is it half? It's a half guard.
Oh, sorry.
Nickell doing a good job controlling on top. Mohammed also locking down the arm, potentially looking for a sweep here. Nickell being patient. And I'm sure he learned from their last fight that any little error he makes could cost him.
And the key for Nickell ending up on top after that takedown attempt was he had that whizzer on the right arm of Mohammed.
Nickell doing a good job passing, but look at the flexibility from Mohammed. Nice.
Nickell's telling him to stand back up. This is where he wants to fight.
He learned from his last fight. But Mohammed light on his feet again, that unorthodox Taekwondo background, and lots of level changing.
I will say, even as a southpaw, it's hard. I think it's harder for southpaw to fight a southpaw than
Nice
an
jab.
orthodox fighter to fight a southpaw.
It is. You know, I think southpaw, you don't get that look too often,
Yeah,
so it's a little weird for them.
You're always used to fighting a guy that has the opposite stance, and it's kind of a little weird.
Nickell being patient. Both men are being patient. Mohammed moving a little bit more. But again, if you're not moving with a purpose, sometimes that can really burn you out. Nice jab. Oh, wow. Wait.
Mohammed looked like he slipped
What happened there? Now,
bit.
whose mouthpiece came out? It looked like he caught Mohammed, but it looks like Shawn's mouthpiece came out. Very confusing there. Very confusing.
It looks like both guys landed shots.
Wow, and a
Mohammed
big
now
takedown.
elevating.
Wow. I really hope Nickell has a mouthpiece in because I'm worried. Who is it? Oh, it is Nickell. Okay, good sportsmanship from both fighters. That's something you got to appreciate.
And great job by the referee, Chris Kinman, pausing it at exactly the right time.
And great sportsmanship. I appreciate fire like that. You know, Mohammed did not look to take any cheap shots there. But now we're in the guard of Nickell, who, again, has an underrated jiu-jitsu game.
High guard.
Doing a good job.
Has that rubber guard here.
And against the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, doing a pretty good job. And I believe Nickell's just a blue belt.
Has that high guard here, Robbie. What's the difference between this really high guard versus a guy who may have his legs lower on the back?
You know, a high guard's going to control the posture a little bit better and give you more opportunities for a submission finish. But it also gives the opponent to pass the guard. It gives Mohammed a better chance to look to pass. And I also believe that was a great round.
Exactly like the first fight.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got 5 rounds here in this one because we may need all of them.
And it'll be interesting to see how Mohammed, if he can keep that pace up. Again, is he moving with a purpose? That's the big thing. Great movement, but if you don't have purpose behind it, a lot of energy could be wasted.
And he was coming in. He came out, as you mentioned, the first round bouncing all over the place.
Very
and Nickell,
impressive.
the experienced striker, really just seemed to be, I mean, he was on his toes, but didn't seem to be expending a lot of energy bouncing around. And of course, that great footwork, as you mentioned.
Nickell breathing, recovering. Again, has a great corner. Rob Radford, one of the best boxing coaches, trainer, former middleweight champion Rich Franklin, worked a ton of top fighters in the area. Now has his own gym as well. And Jordan Sullivan, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a black belt under Shawn Hammonds. Shawn looked over at me. He made me feel special for just a second. And Mohammed looks good, too. He doesn't look tired at all. No fatigue.
Decided to stand in between rounds. Nickell decided to sit down.
And really, you don't see any. Look at Mohammed. No heavy breathing at all. Barely breathing.
Yeah, Nickell.
Eerie breathing.
Nickell seemed to be breathing a little bit heavily at the beginning of that break, but looks like he got the breathing under control and ready to go here for round number 2.
Mohammed's eyes are wide open. Look at the crowd we have. Is that a Nickell crowd we got, or is that a Mohammed crowd?
I think it's both of these guys. I think probably these guys sold more tickets than the rest of the card.
Wow, there's a lot of people. Coming in
Especially
hot.
the people that saw the first fight between these two.
Yeah,
And I'm sure a
wow.
lot more.
Another fast start. I'm seeing a lot of movement from Mohammed. Some feints. There's that awkward taekwondo background we talked about.
He likes to throw that side kick.
Nickell's got to be patient because he has the rage. He's just got to look out for those lunging punches from Mohammed in
Yeah,
that sprint.
I think Nickell may be maybe on the verge of finding his range here.
He's using his jab. He's doing a good job. But look at this nonstop movement from Mohammed. It's like he's
all
just
the
not
way on
fatiguing.
the outside of the cage, just lapping the cage at this point.
Crazy movement
Maybe
here.
trying to get those Fitbit steps in.
That is right.
Nice left hand to the body there, and that combination from Nickell. Nickell does one of the things that not a lot of amateurs do, and throw combinations in fights. You see so many guys just throwing one
Wow,
strike.
and he pulled guard and looking for a heel hook potentially.
Yeah,
he is.
Nickell's out of there.
like, forget that. Very smart. Now, if Nickell can start doing more of that and defending, he's going to get in Mohammed's head a little bit. You got to think. Being a grappler, you want to be able to
just
finish.
stalking at this point.
But being smart, not rushing, being patient, looking for his opening. Again, good footwork from Nickell. Stalking him down, just waiting.
Trying to cut off that angle.
But Mohammed just does not stop.
There's
There's
a
a 1-2, exactly. It'll be interesting to see if Mohammed looks to lunge in with a big shot. More of a Machida style. Oh, a little hip turn. Maybe a little, high kick.
Set up that, telegraph that leg. Actually switch stances to throw that big right leg.
I think that, you know what, I think he's giving Mohammed a little bit too much respect on the feet, and now Mohammed might be finding a little bit of swagger in his step. Oh, beautiful kick, chopping. And you saw Mohammed react a little bit to that. Slight wince.
Yeah.
See, now we're getting a little bit of a gun draw, and this is what you don't want to get into.
Now it's a firefight.
It's an ego thing now. You hit me, I hit you. And maybe a guillotine. Now, Nickell loves the guillotine. Okay, bails on the guillotine. Very smart.
Does a good job of turning him off the cage there, though.
Great head position. And Mohammed's honestly just looking to maintain and kind of fight off this. Not looking for a takedown here or pull guard yet. Nickell using great head position. Couple short knees landed by Mohammed. And nice dirty boxing.
Nice body shots there.
Very good dirty boxing in the clinch. Ooh, nice whizzer. One of my favorite takedowns. Might roll into a knee bar. Rolls into a leg lock. Oh, my gosh. If he's able to pull this one off, that would be quite impressive. Nickell doing the right thing so far.
Doesn't look like he has the extension on the leg that he needs to finish this knee bar.
They're in a very awkward position. If Nickell can get his weight down, and now Mohammed is in a bad place.
Yeah, now Nickell has that triangle position with his legs.
If he can land some shots here, Mohammed could be in trouble. If he can sink his weight back, he's trapped against the cage. Mohammed doing a good job getting under. Nickell just needs to sink his weight back just a tad bit, and he
big shots there from Shawn Nickell.
Being smart, but oh boy, I think he's going to survive this round. But those leg locks can come on quick. Another great round.
Number 2. I think if Mohammed won that first round, I think the second round probably went to Shawn Nickell.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And again, it's interesting. Let's see how both fighters are reacting going into the third round.
And you got to remember, this is also a 5-round fight. A lot of these guys are probably used to mostly fighting 3-round fights, although Mohammed, this is his 5th title fight in his 9th bout, and the 6th title fight for Shawn Nickell. So maybe the preparation for that 5-round fight is both of these guys are used to that.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see once again what each guy's game plan is to modify. You know, Mohammed looks to me like he has a great stance, and I would believe his striking would be pretty crisp, but he hasn't been willing to really engage with anything but fancy techniques for now.
Yeah, and it looks like his game plan is definitely to try to get it to the ground, whether he's on top or on bottom.
Yeah, he's attacking.
But he can't put himself in a bad position on the bottom. He can't put himself in a kind of a mount or kind of that precarious sort of modified half guard position that he was in the last time.
And Mohammed's still not even breathing heavy. It's amazing. He's barely sweating, too. Kind of bizarre how well-conditioned he looks.
I think most of that was they wiped him off with a towel.
Okay, doesn't even look like he's broken a sweat.
As a guy who's the grappler, you got to think he's going to want to be drier and not allow Nickell to be able to slip out of the submission attempts.
And a good job catching that, McKenny, because that is absolutely true. I totally missed that. All right, let's see what we got going on now with Nickell.
Round number 3 here, featherweight title on the line.
Fast movement from Mohammed, very quick.
Yeah, Nickell, though, do you think he has to kind of stay a little bit more on the outside because he's worried about those spinning kicks and crazy kicks, maybe staying a little bit further out than he likes to be?
It's tough because there's just a lot of sprinting going on. You don't see a lot of light pitter-patter. It's a sprint. One guy goes, the other guy stops. The other guy goes, the other guy stops. It's in, out, in, out. One guy's going straight forward, one guy's going straight back. So, again, this is a very tough fight stylistically. This is to go 5 rounds.
Mohammed was looking for the takedown. Nickell doing a good job of turning him in.
And this is where I think Nickell needs the looking for guillotine. Oh, boy.
Guard here. He may have this.
This could be it, and it's an arm in, but he's against the cage, but against the brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and oh, boy.
Round number 3 is where the first fight ended.
Oh, boy.
Mohammed trying to finish the second one in the exact
Nickell
same
doing
place.
the right thing, though, but he's tripoding, and he's against the cage. You know, and Mohammed, the only way he's going to be able to finish this is if he gets his hips out. He has the arm in, and it's very hard to finish an arm in guillotine against the cage, but now I see a little bit of wincing.
Of posting up on his toes.
He's got to keep that tripod, a tremendous amount of pressure on the feet.
And one of the things, Robbie, and now he seems to be doing it, but he wasn't fighting hands before and trying to break that grip of Mohammed.
Now, if he pops his head out, there could be a lot of energy used by Mohammed, and for just a minute there, it looked tight. Shawn's okay right now. I can see his face, and I can see where the grip is. Now, he needs to stay in the tripod, though. He needs to stay in the tripod. Mohammed adjusting.
Like he might be out now.
And he's out. Very smart by
Nickell telling him to get back up again. He doesn't want any part of that ground game.
But Mohammed doesn't even look fatigued. I'm very impressed. His conditioning looks on point.
Nickell now stalking. I think he realizes he has to kind of take the fight to Mohammed at this point.
Nickell, I think, really just needs to let his hands go, because when he does, Mohammed's reaching a lot, and he's not throwing too much off of that. He's throwing that big spinning technique, but not much otherwise.
Also, maybe try to.
Nice jab.
There's a There's a
there
nice
he is.
combo.
Now he's unloading.
1-1-2.
Oh, but nice. Oh, beautiful job defending that.
And it's like, I think Nickell's saying, if you want me there, you're going to have to drag me there.
And see,
Mohammed's,
when Nickell lets his hands go, this is where he's the most dangerous. He needs to believe in his striking here. Every time he strikes, Mohammed's not doing much but reaching.
He's been landing some nice shots here.
He's backing up the Taekwondo guy. That right hook is coming too. I think if Nickell throws that right hook, he's circling right into it. Mohammed, he could land it big. And
now Mohammed almost is on his bike, definitely trying to pull guard again.
And this is where you get worried here.
Mohammed big bait him in, trying to taunt him a little bit.
Big kick. Nickell needs to be smart though, not let it play into those mind games.
Yeah.
He looked to be a little.
I think the thing, if you're Mohammed, you have to realize if you want him there, you got to get him there yourself.
Absolutely.
I don't think that anybody's going to be smart enough to come try to play on your guard like that.
If you look real close, that's above her head, guys. Above her head.
Yeah, you're right. They are using a towel in between.
Round number 4, great fight. And Robbie, that was probably, I think, the toughest round to score because you had Mohammed early on with the pressure. But Nickell really kind of landed more of the shots there.
This is a tough one. You know, so far, I have this. This would be a split decision in my book right now. We're at a close fight. These next 2 rounds are going to be crucial for deciding a winner.
I think Nickell might have just eked out that 3rd round, but it was close. And you got to think, I think judges might not be a huge fan of the guy trying to do the old butt scoot and trying to pull a guy down into his guard. So.
You know what, though? I feel the judges need to become, though, a little bit more educated on the whole aspect of fighting. You know, I get fighting is an entertainment thing. They want to see people strike. Not that Mohammed, no offense, did anything too spectacular on the ground to get him there, but there needs to be a little bit more education there.
But I think, I'm always a guy that, if you want the fight on the ground, then you have to be able to get it to the ground. If you want it on the feet, you have to be able to get up off your back.
Absolutely, and you're totally right. Nickell's done a great job sticking to his game plan.
Yeah, I think Nickell not being baited into the grappling battle this time with Jamal Mohammed and saying, if you want me there, you got to take me there.
You know what, though? For me, I want to even be playing into this crowd. I'd be so tunnel vision on this fight right now, nothing else would matter. Let's see what happens, though, here. Again, great movement from Mohammed. He's just got to move with a purpose a little bit more. I want to see Mohammed let his hands go a little bit. His kicks, too. He's got great kicks. He's just not letting them go at all.
Like I said, I think that it's been hard for Nickell to kind of find the range because of how unorthodox Mohammed is.
He is. And he keeps circling into what I see as a really nice right hook. Ooh, big overhand right. Big overhand right. And if he just times those kicks a little bit more, I think Shawn might start picking them apart.
Surprised Shawn hasn't tried that inside leg kick either, because it seems like Mohammed is really posting heavy on that front leg.
He's doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe a spinning back fist coming from Mohammed. I mean, he keeps setting him up with the same kind of push kick.
Yeah, he's doing some crazy things that, not great technique.
Ooh,
he's doing stuff like crossing his feet that you wouldn't normally recommend for a fighter.
There, okay, so you get a little fancy over here. And I think if Mohammed, he can set those up a little bit more with throwing some hands first. He could really do some crazy damage. He just needs to throw the hands a little bit, just a little bit.
Not really throwing his hands at all, really just basically all kicks from Mohammed.
Yeah, I just want to see a little bit more with those hands. And Mohammed doesn't look tired whatsoever. Neither does Nickell. Nickell being patient, waiting for his opening. Really technical fight. Big overhand.
Looks like maybe an eye injury here for Nickell.
Oh, man. This would be sad to see a guy like that. Nickell weathering the storm.
Trying to recover here.
Maybe a guillotine attempt from Nickell.
I'm not sure if he got poked in the eye or what.
I think he got poked in the eye. Interesting to see.
The left eye of Nickell is closed, and now he has to grapple with Jamal Mohammed.
This is again called weathering the storm, and really showing a true seasoned vet here.
Still early on in round number 4 here. Nickell has to try to recover, but he's doing a good job so far of defending this takedown against Jamal Mohammed.
This is quite the battle, too. I'm very impressed. Now, don't be surprised if Mohammed tries to sit back for something as well. He might try to sit back for a leg lock. Oh,
tries to pull that.
Nickell likes that guillotine, but he also realizes he's fighting a good grappler. He's got to be smart. The hands are locked from Mohammed.
A little bit high, though, on this takedown attempt. That's the one good thing is that Nickell has this good base here.
It is, and it looks like Nickell might be trying to readjust for the choke a little bit. See, and he rolls into the leg lock, exactly what I was talking about.
And it looks like that Nickell may have recovered as well from that potential poke in the eye.
Nickell's got to keep weight on that right leg, and he's also got to make sure to not give too much space unless he's going to rip away, and that's where the threat of the leg comes. But this is where he's scoring. He's being smart. Body shots here. Anything to pepper his opponent's going to score him points. Nickell playing it smart. I don't blame him, staying tight. Again, finding a pretty good grappler. And the round's coming to an end. He needs to pepper him, score a little bit more. There are some nice shots there.
Again, another close round, and Robbie, that
a lot of respect.
I think that might have been another one that Nickell may have just eked out. I mean, he landed a couple of good combinations.
This is an interesting fight. There, like you said, the rounds are very close, very close.
Mohammed unable to score that takedown up against the cage. Had to actually pull guard to go for that submission attempt, and then Nickell ended up on top and didn't get submitted. So I think, in that position, you got to maybe even give that advantage to Shawn Nickell there in that round number 4.
Nickell doing a good job, a great contrast of styles. I just want to see Mohammed let those hands go, and I seriously think Mohammed would be just unstoppable.
He did let the hands go briefly when he was looking for that finish, but Nickell did a good job of recovering there.
Interesting. Wonder what the advice is from both corners. Again, Rob Radford being one of the best coaches and been in so many big fights with Rich Franklin, so many others on the big stage. You gotta wonder what kind of advice he's giving.
I think both corners maybe at this point have to think best case it might be 2-2, because I think both corners are probably telling their guys they need this round no matter what, and preferably a finish.
I'm very impressed with the conditioning of both these gentlemen. Mohammed's still looking fresh as the first round, still moving up the crowd. Feet. Yeah.
Hey guys, they're gonna need everything you got.
Oh boy.
Round number 5 here, featherweight title on the line. Shawn Nickell, Jamal Mohammed, the rematch.
And Mohammed's still light on those feet. It's incredible to see him moving so well, even into the 5th round.
Nickell also moving well though, more of kind of stalking style, and now getting a little bit tighter here. Maybe finally found his range here.
I really want to see Nickell let those hands and feet go a little bit more. I know he's worried about the takedown, but I think if he lets those hands go, he could do some damage.
Also, there's a straight left.
And that's what I was talking about. He needs to he's so fast, Mohammed. He needs to extend those punches a little bit. Potentially even a switch kick from Nickell with that lead leg. He could land right on Mohammed. The hand is kind of low. Same deal. Nickell needs to commit a little bit more, close the distance.
And does this give
Ooh, nice, good kick.
I was going to say, do the judges see this as Mohammed, because he's on the outside, do they see this as him kind of running from Nickell?
I would consider this octagon aggression from or cage control from Nickell. So when you talk about how you score, Nickell is pressing forward. He is stopping.
There's the left hand from Nickell.
Even from an educated standpoint, Nickell is backing him up, and Mohammed's not really throwing too much besides those flashy kicks. I'm just so impressed, though, by the conditioning of Mohammed, and he just does not stop moving. Nice kick landed there.
Inside leg kick there.
And not even breathing heavy. I just want to see Mohammed go after him a little bit more. There's a big takedown, and that could really make a big difference in this 5-round fight. Nickell's got to either get up or attack. He can't waste time here.
A standing room only crowd here. That's going absolutely crazy for this fight. This one just as good as the first one.
I think they're honestly going crazy because I'm here, David McKenny. No, I'm just kidding.
The Robbie Maloff show here at Hardrock MMA 81. But Nickell, still trying to get back to his feet here.
He's trying to hit a switch. He's looking for a switch, but if I were the ref, I might think about setting this up. Smart, score points there, Nickell. That's what he needs to do. He needs to score. Not much going on here. I would consider a stand-up.
He looks pretty close to maybe standing this up.
Here comes a scramble potentially.
Nickell may be trying to get this stand-up himself.
Nickell trying to hit a switch. closes the guard. Now he's got to be active. And Nickell has a good guard. I'd like to see him attack. He's got nothing to lose at this point. It's a very close fight.
Maybe looking to try to isolate that left arm. 10 seconds maybe left to go here.
So it'll be interesting. If that guard opens, will Mohammed fall back for a leg lock?
Mohammed postures up and puts some big shots at the end of the fight. Great fight there.
Very impressive.
You see the huge show of respect, the embrace there at the end of that one.
That energy, just as hyped as the first minute of the first round. Very impressed from both gentlemen. You gotta look at the faces. You actually see a little damage on Mohammed's face and not much on Nickell.
I think that might have been from that straight left hand in that 5th round. Great fight there between two guys who have a fantastic future in this sport.
Who threw a water in the... Okay, hopefully it was a cornerman because there is a bottle of water in the cage. Okay, that's for Nickell. So who do you have for this one? You know what? I'm not gonna pick a winner. I'm really unsure.
You know, I wouldn't want to be a judge on this one. I think all of the rounds, every single round was close.
It was 5 rounds. So
you know, I doubt it would ever go to a draw, but I could see that. Or it has to be a split decision. If this is unanimous, I couldn't give this unanimously to either guy. And it is interesting when the judges take a little bit of time to decide. This is where things get kind of interesting. Sometimes you hear some crazy things.
You see Todd Neal adding up the scorecards.
Todd Neal, one of my favorite gentlemen.
Made it hot as hell in here. Nice job.
It is. Very
Jason
hot.
Lionel waiting the scorecard.
Both guys moving around like it's just the first round, like it's no big deal. Jamal Mohammed making faces at the camera.
I will say, though, I think that we could definitely see a third fight between these gentlemen.
I think so.
I think these two just have magic when they get in there. It's a great fight, great stylistic matchup for both guys. You know, Nickell obviously wanting to keep it on the feet, Mohammed trying to get it to the ground, and I think that both guys pose really, really tough challenges for the other guy.
Absolutely. It could be a good third fight, maybe as professionals too. We never know. They're both getting close to that next level. If they just both cleaned up a few things, I think we could see a bright future for both gentlemen. But look at how long this is taking to add it up. This really could be a draw, Dave. We could see something very, very...
I think they're just making sure they have their math right.
I'm definitely seeing a split decision. I just don't know who to pick. Interesting to see.
The pigeon has landed, and I have the results.
Oh, and he said results.
Folks,
he did not say winner.
Results are read, please.
Results.
Give it up for both of these guys.
Uh-oh. What would happen in the instance of a draw with the title?
For the love of the sport.
Not sure. We'd have to talk to Hardrock.
Oh, boy.
MMA matchmaker
Oh,
Brandon
boy.
Higdon.
Look at Todd even standing up.
After 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards.
Okay.
Judge 1 scores the bout 48-47. Mohammed. Judge 2 scores the bout 48-47. Nickell.
All right. And this is what it comes down to, the third judge.
Judge 3 scores the bout 48-47 for the winner of this
okay,
bout
split decision.
by split decision. Jamal.
Jamal Mohammed staying undefeated. Moves to 9-0 with his second win over Shawn Nickell, and I think there's no loser in that fight.
Yeah, you know, you got to give respect to both guys, and even though the crowd's booing, that was such a close fight. And you know what? Mohammed being the champion, like they say, you have to take the belt from the champion. And a close fight, that champion might get the edge. But a great performance from both guys. Mohammed using excellent footwork. Very impressed with his speed and movement.
Right there.
And I think that's a tough fight, tough matchup for any 145-pounder in the area.
Absolutely.
Folks, that's everything we thought that fight would be.
And I'm just so impressed again with the condition of him.
Fantastic fight there. Jamal Mohammed, as you mentioned, #1 ranked featherweight in the Ohio Valley, and you saw why in that fight.
For good
I
reason.
think Shawn Nickell might be moving up in the rankings as well, 9-4 now.
A lot of respect given out right now by Mohammed. Very impressed. Way to be a true man of the sport.
I want to thank everybody that came out tonight and supported me. Students from LTJ.
See students.
My trainers, Michael Seals and Stony Dennis. This was the most difficult training camp that I've had. I came into this training camp the most out of shape I've ever been going into a training camp.
You wouldn't be able to tell.
I had to cut a ton of weight, but these two always believed in me, and I felt the most prepared for this fight going into it than any other fight that I've been in. So thank you guys. They don't charge me a nickel for all the work that they did.
Charge me a nickel. Isn't that funny?
Thank you to all the LTJ family, friends, family members, mom, sisters, my girlfriend Sarah, everybody has been super, super supportive of me. So one more time, thank you guys.
Very humbled.
Jamal Mohammed, as you mentioned, maybe a jump to the pro ranks. Could be in store for Jamal Mohammed. 9-0 now. Got a couple of wins over Shawn Nickell.
You'll see the smallest fan club.
Yeah, I think that if he works on his commitment to striking a little bit, I think he'd be ready.
Yeah, those are his students.
Interesting to say, he was not. He didn't think he would be in shape prior to this camp, but wow, I would never be able to tell.
Yeah, the conditioning definitely looked like it was there for Jamal Mohammed. And we jump into the first of our 3 professional fights here. And we have in a women's professional fight, a very big rarity in Kentucky and in this area. We have Gina Begley going to take on Marissa Caldwell from Vision MMA.
Yeah, and I actually know Marissa personally. She's, again, somebody who's been around for quite a while. I believe she fought Jessica I. She's fought a few UFC veterans, very tough, and she's game. She's a good grappler. But on the flip side, we have Gina Begley, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, good Muay Thai, long, lanky, good contrast to fights.